Guys, I used to sit on a packed train in London every single day, wearing a suit I absolutely hated, working a job I did not care about. And now I make $40,000 per month helping people with their fitness, doing something that I actually love. But here's the part that nobody actually tells you. Doing what you love isn't enough. In this video today, I'm going to show you what actually moved the needle in my business and why most coaches get this completely backwards. Let's break this down properly because I really want you to avoid the mistakes that I made. This video is going to give you a clear roadmap so you can go from stuck with just a few clients online to really building a real business that not only pays you well, but gives you a purpose in your life. I'm going to explain the mindset, the strategy, and the systems that actually got me there. I'm also going to share the one decision that nearly ruined my progress and how fixing it changed everything for me. As I said, last month, I did make over $40,000 doing what I love, coaching, but it didn't start like that. When I left school, I got a job in the insurance industry in London, the classic go-to for someone working around London and commuting in, doing that sort of corporate job. There was a bit of a buzz at the start, being in that like city lifestyle, but every day I felt like I was just surviving. To be honest with you, I just felt like I was living someone else's version of success, that version of success that we'd always been told to, that you'd want to be living when you left school. And I always loved fitness. I loved fitness when I was at school. I loved going in the gym, seeing the progress from that. But I never thought that I'd be actually able to turn it into a business. But it turns out you can. You really can, but only if you treat it like one. So here's 4 key shifts that really helped me personally go from stuck in my business to really scaling. And make sure you stick around because in the 4th shift in particular, I'm going to explain why most fitness coaches, to be honest, seem to cap their income forever. I'm going to teach you how to break through that. So the first shift is you don't need more passion. It's obviously if you're passionate about fitness, that's great. And that is a really important part of it, but you don't need more of that passion. You need a better plan within your business. Most coaches, they do have passion, but they're still broke. So having passion clearly isn't the only thing. So let's break that down. I did used to personally think that passion was the fuel that was going to carry me through, and everyone says do something you enjoy. I do really think that's important, and it is definitely the foundation, and it does get you started, of course it does, but if you have passion with no plan, it's just absolute chaos. How many PTs do you see that are passionate about fitness but they're still broke? So I would wake up, I'd be super fired up, but then I would just waste hours doing a new logo, rewriting my bio, tweaking colors here and there, doing stuff on Canva, watching other coaches' reels on Instagram. But I myself had zero structure. I didn't have any systems, no sales process. And the real shift came when I asked myself, if this was a real business, which is ultimately what I wanted, what would it need? And then all of a sudden, it wasn't just about what I felt like doing that day and following my passion. It was about what the business really needed me to do and thinking about that future version of me that I wanted to be and what that person would do there and then that day. Put it this way, right? If you imagine trying to build muscle, for example, with just motivation and no proper program to get there and no nutrition in place, you would just be spinning your wheels, guys. And business is the exact same thing. We're going to go through the second shift. You will not scale without saying no. Now, I really want to share with you why saying yes to too many things is going to kill your income. There is no doubt about it. And there was a bit of a counterintuitive rule, I would say, which really did help me grow faster. So when I was early on in my business, I said yes to everything. Doing one-off payments for people, really tailored programs, giving mates discounts. I just told myself that it was helping more people, but to be honest, guys, I was just scared to really niche down. So when I really finally started to focus on just one type of client and built a high converting offer that was really specifically for them, that is when everything changed. I could speak super clearly in my content. I could market confidently and actually be confident with what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, and raise my prices as well because I had a program that was built for a specific person. If your offer is confusing, this is like the foundation to everything. It makes everything in your business more difficult. You need to be super clear on who you're working with and how you're going to get them to where they want to be. If your offer's confusing, your income is going to be very confusing as well. The third thing I want to speak about is the worst place to be, and that's being comfortable. And to be honest, guys, this one nearly ruined everything that I had built in my business. After I got to around 10K per month in my first year, I plateaued massively. And it wasn't because anything changed in like the market or anything like that. I just got comfortable. When I initially started my business, I didn't even think 10K per month was possible. So when I got to that point, I stopped treating my program like a business, I guess. I just started treating it like a job that I'd created for myself. I joined a pretty terrible mentorship, to be honest. It was just really surface level stuff. The first mentorship that I'd been on that had got me to my first 10K per month, I'd left that, went to another one, thought the grass was going to be greener, and deep down I knew I was just coasting. I wasn't really putting in the work and pushing too hard anymore. I'd exceeded my expectations already and built something fairly good, but it wasn't great. Like deep down, what I really wanted was something big and impactful, but I was just settling because I'd got comfortable again and I didn't have the guidance around me to really push me to that next step. I just got to that point where I was comfortable and I was happy just coasting there. But then that went on for quite a while. It went on for about 6 months and I started to really resent it. So the shift like within that 6 months was pretty painful, but it was a very powerful one. Like it was me really realizing that money wasn't everything. Like I really wanted to have a bigger impact. So even though then going from like 10K to 15K wasn't much of a bigger deal for me, like money wise, it was a case of me following my purpose again and really getting that drive back. So I had to raise my standards again and set proper targets. Got obsessed with client results and made sure that my program was really, really good and that I was super confident on consultation calls with people that if they came on board, they were going to absolutely crush it. And build a solid team as well, like get a solid team of people around me and start really thinking like a business owner. Like it wasn't just a one-man band anymore. I started to take on team members, had a couple of team members at that point, someone starting to take on some clients, really making this into a business now. The fourth shift is you do not just grow a coaching business, you grow a client success machine. Most coaches, they focus a lot on content, not the client outcomes. But yeah, both is important obviously, but the really important thing to build long-term income is not just content. You can post 5 times a day and still be broke. I know so many fitness influencers out there that make literally no money. You can have fancy branding and literally no business. What really changed everything for me to take my business to the next level, and that we still really have a big emphasis on now with my coaches, is obsessing over results. Your business is not just your content. Your business is your client transformations. If you can become this transformations machine, when your clients win, you win at the end of the day, and it makes you feel more fulfilled as well. And this is what I lost touch of when I started to plateau. If you're getting testimonials, you're getting referrals, you're getting renewals, this is really where income comes from. Not likes on your posts. Yes, having some views and having that traffic is important, but if you have a shitty program, you are not going to get anywhere. So let's just recap quickly what we've gone through today. Number 1, you really do need structure in your business, not just passion. Number 2 is you need to simplify things and you need to say no much more than you're saying yes. And you need to say yes to the right things. Number 3 is that comfort is going to kill your growth. It really is. You need to make sure if you want to take this to the next level, make it a business, you need to raise your standards. And number 4, you need to build a client results engine. So yes, do what you love for sure. Like that is so important. That is the foundation. but make sure you treat it like a real business. This isn't just a side hustle, guys. It's not just some sort of project. It is a real business. And if you really want to change lives, including your own, you need to treat it like one. If you do this, you are going to wake up fulfilled. There's no doubt about that. You're going to wake up making money, and you're going to wake up changing lives as well. And if you are serious about scaling your coaching business, then make sure you watch the video around here for more information on how to do so. And I will see you guys in the next video.